Hi yogis, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be focusing on the hips, the quads, and a little bit of the IT bands. I think everybody just really loves working and opening up and releasing any stress in the quads. It seems to be a very popular focus on my videos. A lot of views on those. So thank you for everybody that has watched my videos or practiced with me. If you really enjoy the practice, I would really appreciate a thumbs up. Just to kind of gives me some feedback on what it is that you all are looking for or that your body is needing, and so that I can provide some more of that for you. Today's practice, we won't be using any props, but they are always optional. So total yogi's choice on whether or not you want to use props, but our poses today, I won't be focusing on using the props. So let's get started right away in butterfly pose. So soles of the feet together. I always kind of like to rock back and forth, kind of move the flesh out from the cheeks to really root down through the sit bones. And let's just take a few breaths here, kind of settling here into this time that you've carved out for yourself. Let's take a cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose to the belly. Open mouth, exhale. Let's do that once again. Inhale through the nose to the belly. Open mouth, exhale. And keeping the eyes closed. Just do a quick check-in with your body here. So remember, in our Yin Yoga practice, our focus is on giving the muscles permission to soften and to release instead of engaging the muscles. And as we allow them to soften, we then have the space to get deeper into the ligaments, the joints, and the fascia, which is what we want to be able to do here. So basically giving the muscles a break from all that they do every day, and especially in any other style of exercise that you may do where you are actively using the muscles, engaging the muscles. And now letting them release. Let the shoulders melt down, releasing any tension in the jaw. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Last breath. Open mouth, exhale. And opening the eyes. Very good. We'll come into deer pose from here. So just shifting all your weight over to your left hip, bringing that right heel back behind you towards the glute. If it's not able to go that far back, that's fine. Just finding where it feels most comfortable for you here. We do want to be feeling the stretch in this left quad. And now resting your hands either on your legs or maybe on your mat or the floor. And what we want to focus on is plugging that right hip down. So notice if the hip is kind of peeling off the floor, we want to plug that down and then release any gripping going on in the hips or the glutes or the legs here. Slowing your breath down. And embracing what your body is feeling here. So maybe you're feeling some resistance, and instead of resisting against the resistance, can you embrace it, breathe through it, and find where you can release? Even I am feeling this today. My hips are very tight today. It's amazing how having a weekend of not practicing and coming back to it, how tight my body gets. So if you're feeling that as well, just know you're not alone. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Last breath. Good, then opening the eyes. We'll shift back over to that left hip just a bit, and then we're going to very gently bring that right leg around, and now we're going to come into what we call fire log. So you go kind of heel toe that left foot across, and then we're going to stack that right shin on top of the left shin. So we want the shins parallel with one another. And then you want to make sure that that right ankle is supported on that left inner thigh or inner knee. Now, if this is a little bit too much for you, if this is really tight here, you can always just gently bring that right foot down so that the calves are now in front of each other. Or you also always have the option of using a prop underneath the thigh, or you can use a blanket underneath, or excuse me, like a little towel underneath the ankle if it's bothering you there. All right, from here, let's just take an inhale, sit up nice and tall, and then exhale, bring the hands out in front of you. Now you may be feeling something right here, right now. You don't need to come any deeper or further if you're already feeling something. We want to breathe through this. And checking in, noticing here if the glutes are clenching, if the hips are hugging. Letting that release. Giving a quick check-in with the shoulders. Notice if the shoulders are up by the ears. We want to gently glide the shoulder blades down the back towards the ribs. Slowing the breath down. Maybe walk the hands out a little further. We're not going to come into a full fold here because we're going to come into a twist. So just holding here, fingertips are kind of making little tents here. Or if you can bring the palms all the way down, you can do that as well. Let's take one more breath here. Good. Then from here, we're going to walk ourselves over to the left towards that left foot. Oh yeah, getting a little deeper into that right hip. Now again, you want to make sure that we're plugging down through both sit bones. So notice if that right hip is kind of peeling off the floor. We want to sink it down. And then again with the shoulders, if they're up by the ears, glide the shoulders down, reaching the heart forward. And then maybe if it feels good, you can drop the head down, chin to chest. Having a slight flex in the feet to support the ankles and knees. Slowing the breath down. As we slow everything down, that's where the magic happens. And we'll take 3 more breaths here. Last breath. Open mouth, exhale. Let's actually take 1 more breath here. And I want you to really focus on breathing into the right side body. So feel the rib cage expand and then all the way into the lower right side back. Take an inhale. Hold. And open mouth, exhale. And we'll very slowly walk ourselves back to center. And then walking the hands back. Ooh, feeling that. Take a breath here. Good. Opening the eyes. Let's very carefully unstack the legs. Come into windshield wiper. So widening the feet a little further than hip width distance. Hands come back behind you. Reach the heart forward. Draw the shoulder blades back towards one another. And then just drop the knees side to side. Very good. And we'll come back into our butterfly pose. So soles of the feet together. Just taking a few breaths here, letting the hips, letting the inner groin and inner thighs soften and open up on its own. So again, we're not looking to force the knees down. We want gravity to do part of the work for us. The other part of our part is to allow the muscles to release. Last breath here. Beautiful. And we'll come into deer on the other side. So now shifting over to that right hip, bringing that left heel back behind you. Grounding yourself down here. Finding where you can soften, where you can release. Embracing your body here. And know that your deer pose may look very different than mine, and vice versa. And that's okay. We're not here to be identical. We're all here to be ourselves, which means we're all different. The only thing you want to make sure is that you're supported in each of your poses. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Releasing the glutes, releasing the hips. Last breath, I added 1 more. Open mouth, exhale. Opening the eyes, coming into our fire log. So we'll shift over to that right hip. Very carefully and mindfully bringing that left leg around. Heel toeing that right foot so that you're able to stack the shins on top of one another, making this nice little even stack. And again, if this is too tight, you can just lower that left foot down. Finding your modification here if need be. Good. And then it's just sitting all the way back. Take a few breaths here, feeling into the hips. Good. Now we'll bring the hands forward. Taking that inhale, reach the heart forward. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Gentle flex in the feet. Letting go of any tension in the jaw. And noticing if there's any gripping going on in the lower back, the glutes, or the hips. Doing your best to breathe through it, layer by layer. And once you feel a little release, then maybe you walk the hands out a little further, drawing those shoulders down. And maybe let the head be heavy. Last breath here. And then we'll walk ourselves over to the right side. Plugging down that left hip, feeling now into the left side of the body, into that left hip. Breathing in and breathing out. Slowing the breath down. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Last breath. And then very slowly walking yourself back to center. And then walking yourself on back. Taking a breath here once you get back to the top. Open mouth, exhale. Good. Opening the eyes. We'll come back into our windshield wiper here. Just a great counter pose to release the hips. Hands back behind you. Reach the heart forward. Draw the shoulder blades back. Maybe it feels good this time to flex the feet so you're more on your heels. And just notice the difference if you just keep your feet flat or compared to coming onto the heels. Very good. And from here, let's just extend the legs out, coming into a straddle pose. You can move the flesh from the cheeks, rooting down through the sit bones. And now let's just give a quick flex to the feet, lengthen through the legs, and then release the flex, release the muscles. Bringing the hands out in front. Take an inhale, reach the heart forward, and then exhale, walking yourself on down. This is a little bit too intense on your lower back. If you have any lower back issues, you may want to keep more of a flat back rather than our typical yin spine, which is more rounded. So letting the upper body round. So finding what works best for your spine, your back, your body. And then allowing gravity to support you here. So we're not looking to pull ourselves or push ourselves deep into this forward fold. We want to let it all happen on its own, very organically. Let's take an inhale to the belly, to the lower back. Exhale, soften. Breathing into the mid-back. Exhale, soften. Now breathing into the upper back, between the shoulder blades and the neck. And exhale, soften. Let the head be heavy. Bringing the chin in towards the chest. Allowing some spaciousness between the shoulders and the neck. So notice if the shoulders are hunched up, just gently glide them down. And letting the legs be super soft here. And embracing your body where it's at today. Let's take 5 more breaths here. Last breath, cleansing inhale and exhale. And bringing the hands in towards you. Press the hands into the earth. Slowly coming back up. Head coming up last. Ooh. Let's take an inhale. Bring the shoulders up to the ears. And then exhale. Roll the shoulders back and down. Just taking a few breaths here. Letting that blood flow. Come back down. Noticing any chi or energy flowing through your body that wasn't there before. Last breath here. Open mouth, exhale. And opening the eyes. Let's support the legs by using our hands underneath the knees, gently bringing the knees in, extend the legs out, give them a little shake. Good. And then let's make our way down onto our backs. So lowering yourself down, nice and easy. Bringing the knees into the chest and gently rocking side to side. And then let's lower that right foot down. And we're going to thread that left foot in that opening of the right leg, using your right hand to grab onto the ball of the foot or the toes, whatever you can here on the left foot. And then you can open up that left arm out to the side, palm facing up. Oh yeah, getting into the quad here. So notice if the the lower back is kind of arched and you're kind of holding or gripping in the back. We want to let that release. So take an inhale to the belly. Exhale, let the lower back release, let it sink on down. Feel the upper back sink down as well. And then notice if the inner thighs or the hips are hugging in towards one another. We want to release all of that. So getting a very deep lengthening through that quad muscle, but without activating the muscle is what we want. And letting go of any tension in your jaw. Notice if the chin is up really high. Gently tuck the chin in towards the chest. So you have this full lengthening through your whole spine. Now, if you'd like to come into this quad stretch a little deeper, very slowly bring that right knee up, and then using both hands to that right knee and just holding the knee here, letting that leg get heavy as it falls into you, and feeling that stretch a little deeper in that left quad. If this is too intense, please come back to where you were. In our yin practice, we want to find our edge, which on a scale of 1 to 10, you want to be at about a 5. So you don't want to be in intense pain, and you don't want to be where you're not feeling anything. So finding that happy medium for you. If you have that right knee in close to you, notice if the shoulders are kind of peeling away from the floor. You want to be able to root the shoulder blades and the shoulders down to the earth. So if that makes the pose a little bit more intense when you make that adjustment, then you may want to lower that right foot back down where it was. Embracing your body's flexibility today. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Last breath. Open mouth, exhale. And let's slowly release that right knee. If you were holding it, bringing that right foot back to the mat. And then we'll all very slowly bring that left foot out and left knee into the chest. Good. And then let's extend that left foot all the way up towards the sky, pointing and flexing. Maybe rotate through the ankle. And now we'll cross that left ankle over that right thigh, pushing the left knee away from you, making our way into reclined swan or reclined pigeon, threading that left arm in that eye hole, and then bringing the hands to that right knee. Let that right foot and leg be heavy, relaxed, and then just bringing a gentle flex to that left foot. Same thing here. If the shoulders are kind of off of the floor as you're reaching for the leg, you can bring that the hands down, maybe behind the back of that right thigh, just so that the shoulders can be plugged down. We want that support in the upper back and through the spine. And so we're not straining. Let's take a full inhale to the belly. Exhale, belly softens, lower back releases. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Last breath. Releasing the hands from that right leg, lowering that right foot down. We're going to extend that left leg up once more. Point and flex through the foot. Good. Then we'll bring that left foot back to the floor, to the mat, and making our way to the other leg. So now we'll thread that right foot through, holding on to the foot. Opening up that right arm out to the side, palm facing up. Shoulders melting down. Releasing any gripping going on in the hips or the glutes or the lower back. With each exhale, finding that that quad is able to release any tension, release any gripping. And then if you came into this deeper on the other side, maybe you want to do that on this side as well. So now bringing that left knee very slowly up to you, using your hands to hold it. This definitely feels a little bit more intense on this side for me. And we speak about that often, that one side of our body is usually always tighter than the other. Breathing through it, breathing in and breathing out. And breathing in and out through the nose. Last 3 breaths here. And last breath, cleansing, inhale and exhale. And slowly lowering that left foot down. And then we'll all very carefully bring that right knee in towards us. Holding here. And then we'll extend that right leg all the way up, pointing and flexing through the foot, rotate through the ankle. Now coming into our reclined pigeon or reclined swan on this side. So crossing that right ankle over the thigh, pressing that right knee away, and then bringing that left knee up. Gentle flex in that right foot. Left foot and leg are very heavy and relaxed here. Take a full inhale to the belly. Exhale through the nose. And finding where the body may be holding here or resisting and letting go. Using your breath to manipulate through those areas to find your release. Three more breaths here. Last breath. And I'll release the hands, lowering that left foot down. Let's extend that right leg up once again, pointing and flexing through the foot. And then lowering that right foot down. Let's bring both knees into the chest, really embracing yourself here. So really squeezing the legs in, hugging yourself. Let's take a full inhale through the nose to the belly. And open mouth, exhale. Once again, inhale fully. Exhale it all out. Releasing the arms, making our way into our final pose, shavasana. Taking up as much space as you like or you have. Right away, letting all of the muscles relax. Allowing the bones in the body to get heavy. Let's take a cleansing breath. Exhale, surrender even more. And letting everything go. Observing any sensations in your body from your practice. Let's take a cleansing breath. Open mouth, exhale. Slowly begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes and gently rocking your head side to side. Let's reach the arms up overhead, pointing the toes, nice deep stretch. And then bringing the feet back to your mat or to the floor, and then making your way into fetal pose on the right side. Resting your head on your right arm, taking a breath here. And then very slowly pressing yourself up. And we'll all meet back in our easy seated pose. I don't know about you, but I really found myself drifting deeply in my shavasana. I always love when that happens. That means you had a good practice. Let's take a cleansing breath here. Inhale fully. Open mouth, exhale. Just take a moment. Notice how your body is feeling. Embracing any new changes that you're feeling. Embracing what your body offers to do for you every day. And being in gratitude for that. Let's bring our hands into Anjali Mudra, prayer at heart center, and gently bowing our heads. I'm just going to read to you what is written on my shirt. Just keeping your eyes closed. I wrote it down. Embrace kindness, embrace mindfulness, embrace empathy, embrace joy, embrace life, embrace happiness, and most importantly, embrace yourself. Thank you for practicing with me today, yogis. From my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you so much, yogis, for choosing to practice with me today. I hope your mind, body, spirit, hips, quads, IT-van are all feeling peaceful, feeling great, and that you are feeling at peace, if I didn't say that already. If you like this video, if you enjoyed this practice, please give it a thumbs up. I'm always open to receiving any feedback, so if you'd like to leave me a comment. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I would very much appreciate that. That just, again, lets me know that there's yogis out there that are benefiting from my practice and enjoy my style of teaching and my style of yin. As we know, all teachers can teach differently, and we just all get to find our own niche, right? Being our own selves. So thank you again, the yogis, for practicing with me. Much love and lots of peace.